Alright guys, so today we're going to start our process with kind of socialising our new addition, the 7-year-old female Panoptes. So it's early, well, it's early for me in the morning. It's like 10 a.m. This guy's still kind of sitting in his hide, so he's pretty chilled, but still quite a bit upset, and it's just me basically gonna be holding this guy in similar to the Mertens we did in the last video. It's kind of holding him in a not too kind of tight fashion, so he can kind of move about and he's got a bit more freedom. Holding him in the sun so he can get some warmth, and that sun will it's a very good thing for him. So he'll get the sun, he'll get the warmth, and that's like a very kind of positive feel for him. As long as I try to keep my interactions with him while he's getting that sun as kind of less threatening as possible, and kind of just support him pleasantly, and try to move and talk as little as possible so that he kind of just relaxes and chills out and gets some warmth and has a nice positive experience. So we'll kind of just hold him about and yeah, see how we go from there. And it'll just be a number of these kind of situations. He's got the slow conflict at the moment, so he's quite cold. So she's quite cold, so she's very very lethargic at the moment. Once she heats up a bit more, she might get a bit more upset with me and try to give me a munch. But after a few of these experiences where she kind of learns that I'm not a threat to her, and that an experience when I pick her up, she's going to get some good warmth, some good sun, basking spot, and some interactions that are pleasant. She's going to start relaxing a lot more, and as long as this bird behind me doesn't make too much noise. So you kind of want to be in an area that's ideally not got a kind of cockatoo beside you that's going to be flapping about and making it a bit more of a troublesome situation than you want. But cockatoo's going to be around near the enclosure where she's going to go into eventually anyway, so it's not too much of an issue. But yeah, quite fond of this girl already, to be honest. She's quite a spectacular animal. Yeah, a little update there. See, I've got the with the holding, I've just got one finger on each side of the neck. She has the capacity to turn around to a degree. As you can see, there's a lot of strength in her, even though she's cold. But and I would prefer to have her just sitting on the arm, because then she can get the warmth of my arm as well. But at the moment she's holding on to my other hand, so I'm just going to let her kind of do what she wants to do. If she wants to grab on, she can grab on. That's her experience. But it's a lot trickier with it's a lot more trickier with an adult when you're starting off with an adult than with a hatchie. With a hatchie, you can kind of imprint good experiences on them from the start, and they're going to remember that. And they even, like we do it with the juveniles that we've got, we don't we try to make all their experiences quite pleasant. Um, but with an adult that you don't know what kind of experiences it had, it's yeah, it can be a bit more of a, I guess, a battle to try and until they start to relax with you. And this girl will start to relax after many of these kind of hold sessions, but she'll kind of revert back if we don't keep on it. Whereas you start with a hatchie and you work with a hatchie, you can miss a couple of months of holding them. Once they're at a good stage, and they'll still remember you and they'll still come up. But this one, we'll have to kind of keep on it for a long time and put a lot more work in there to kind of replace the negative experiences that she's had with handling with positive ones, and kind of reinforce that. But still have to be a lot more careful as well, because because she's had negative experiences and she hasn't, like with handling, for example, like she's been kept really well. She's a very healthy animal, but not handled specifically. And as I said before, I'd say when she was handled, it would have been around the back of the neck and quite tight, just to prevent her from biting him, and to be handled that way. So that, yeah, negative kind of experiences. And so she's going to be a bit more jumpy as well. Even when she does get used to me a lot, I'm probably not going to kind of let her up on the shoulder like I do with our goannas that we raised from the start. Just because, like, if something spooks her, like a bird behind me, for instance, she suddenly side swipes the like you've got the neck there, you've got the face there. You really don't want to take a tag from a monitor to the neck or the face. With our ones that we raise up from hatchies, we know we can get them to a level where we're very, very comfortable. We can sit them up there, and something out of the ordinary will happen. We know it's not going to tag us. We know what they're going to do, we know what they're not going to do. We may, like saying that, we may get to a point with this one way down the track where we're that comfortable with it, but it's going to take a while. So first we're just going to focus on getting it to a point where it likes to be held, enjoys the experience, and doesn't really puff up and get too upset about it. And she'll get to a point in today's session where she's kind of had enough. So it's a bit kind of different as well in that regard. With a lot of the other monitors, we kind of work them. We like to work them until, like, get them out and handle them and do that kind of thing until they're kind of relaxed down. For the first couple of sessions with this one, it's not going to really relax down as such. It's quite upset, so we're just going to kind of play it by ear. If it gets too upset, we'll pop it back and then just get it out another day and try again. But eventually it will calm down, and we'll keep you guys updated and see how we go. Kind of see even with when I'm not talking and moving her about, she's a lot more relaxed, and when I'm not looking at her as well, like, she's seeing me just glance over towards her head and she kind of did a little twitch away. So you kind of just look away and be as non-threatening as possible, really. But if you train in a monitor, like socializing monitor, don't want to say the horrible word of training or taming or anything like that. It's a taboo word, I guess, for some weird reason. But yeah, if you're socializing the monitor and you want to you want it, whatever type of monitor you're socializing, you want to get it to a point where you've got to kind of get it to get used to whatever you need to get it used to. So talking is something that we've got to get this girl used to, because we're going to eventually, like way down the track, join her in the shows, because she'd be a great ambassador for the monitor species. They're really spectacular monitors, the Panoptes. You see the colour patterns on them, the fact they stand up on their back legs, like a lot of monitors do, but nothing as impressive as the yellow spotted monitor or the Panoptes. And these guys are actually kept a fair bit overseas as well. You got them through Europe and America. They're quite a common species kept. In Australia, there's not too many of them in captivity, I don't think, at the moment. There was a while back, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, there were a few people breeding them, but like everything, they go through phases and kind of drop off. So hopefully they come back more, because these guys are one of the big top 4 monitors in Australia, and they're very spectacular animals, and they do generally, like, they do socialise down quite well, or socialise up quite well, whatever way you want to say it. It's really weird saying socialisation instead of kind of tame down, but that's what it is. You're socialising and wanting them used to have them kind of enjoying the interactions, and like I've said before in previous videos, we want all our monitors to not fear us. So we want them to have like great interactions and want to interact with us. It's the best way to have a captive animal, basically. I mean, we've got captive animals. They're in captivity, so they're going to live longer. They're getting a spectacular diet. They've got incredibly immaculate enclosures and kind of great enriching setups, and so we want all of their life to be quite good and pleasant and happy life, and a big part of that, because they're captive animals, is we want to be able to interact with them in a pleasant way that they actually enjoy as well. So it's very important for us to get out with the monitors and kind of do what we're doing here, socialise them, get them used to us, have them lose the fear of us, and want to interact. Like monitors are like a lot of people, when we're doing shows, we'll be doing shows with the parenti, and parentis, we haven't measured him in a while, but I think he was 174 last time, and I'm pretty sure he's probably close around 180 now. And we want to get to a point where, like what I was saying, we go to the shows, and a lot of people ask us, like, I didn't know you could socialise, like you could get monitors so friendly, and like our parenti's a lot more comfortable in the shows when he's warm as well, and a lot of people think while we're at the shows that they've got to be cold and they'd be more comfortable, but the thing is, when they're warm, they trust us already. They trust us a lot. They like interactions. They enjoy the interactions. Our parenti loves it, and in the warm weather, they know they can move when they want to, so they're a lot more comfortable as well. But we liken it to, they're kind of like dogs, I guess. When, like, if you come up against a goanna in the wild, it's like coming up against a wild dog, I guess, except for the fact that wild dogs could potentially see you as prey, but whereas goannas in Australia wouldn't necessarily see you as prey, but they are still going to be dangerous if you go to try and pick them up, because they're a wild animal. Whereas if you've got one in captivity and you raise it well, and you bring it up right, it's going to love the interactions, it's going to be comfortable with the interactions, and it's going to be a really, really good experience for both parties. Whereas if you've got one in captivity and you don't necessarily raise it right, it's the same as a dog. It could, it's going to attack you out of fear, or attack someone out of fear, or just not want to interact. And it's basically the same as any animal, really. You've got tigers at places like Australia Zoo, where they do really great work with them and interact with them and raise them up well, and the tigers view the keepers as kind of part of their pack, if you like, and really enjoy the interactions and value that, and want to protect the keepers as they view them as one of their own. So it's and when things like that, like sometimes, yes, like occasionally people get injured. I've been bitten by goannas a fair bit, but it's always you just make mistakes, and even in the tiger industry, where they do make mistakes occasionally, it's not the tiger's fault. It's not the goanna's fault. It's the kind of keeper's fault, and it's just a lapse of judgment, really, like it happens with dogs as well, and every kind of species. But again, if you raise them right and you work with them, they eventually become great companions, and they enjoy you, and vice versa. So yeah, I think we've been going for a good 15 minutes now, and she's starting to calm down a fair bit. She's not as puffed up as she was, and she's starting to close the eye on this side. I think on the other side it looks like she's got the eye closed as well, so she's starting to kind of relax, get used to my voice, and just kind of soak up the sun. The sun's in a good direction to land on her back and kind of draw in there, and she's starting to realise that she's not going to get attacked. You can see the throat's really going down compared to where it was, and she's not moving at all. So at this point, while she's starting to relax a lot more, it's kind of very important that I keep as still as possible with my arms and stuff. So I was moving about a bit before, but now I'm kind of, as she's relaxing, I'm kind of holding as still as possible, because I want her to kind of get as relaxed as possible and comfortable as possible, and stay in that kind of comfort zone for as long as we both can hold out, really, so that it's a prolonged experience of non-threateningness. And kind of looked at her in the eye there. She looked at me in the eye and saw me, but she's starting to get a bit more used to it. Again, this is something that's going to have to be repeated over and over and over again, and it's going to take a very long time, but we're making good progress this morning, and I think that's probably where we're going to leave this video at today, and we'll... Okay, so yeah, the next day it turns out I'm not entirely as patient as I thought, and went for the good old chin tickle, or to give it a bit of a massage underneath the chin. It really does help with these guys if you can do it. It can be a little bit nerve-wracking if the lizard, like this one for instance, a week before was insistent on trying to munch my face, and but after, like, the previous day, I held it out. I only posted up like 20 minutes of the video on that, but I held it out there for a good 50 minutes session, and then today got it out and started holding it and thought, well, we'll give it a go. It's not doing too badly, and you go from underneath, and like it can bite at that point, and it was probably going through its mind for a bit. But it's amazing what the throat massage does on does on a monitor. It just relaxes them down. Their tail starts to uncurl. Their throat starts to go down. They start to get quite relaxed. As you can see there, like its throat's not out as much as it was, but you got to be careful as well. Like you see, I moved a little there. The bird made a bit of noise, so I went to just quiet the bird a little bit, and he just freaked a little bit there. So still, or she just freaked a little bit there. So still, there's a long way to go. And then the other thing is, as my hand comes up, you'll see me kind of like I'll tap the foot as I go up, not intentionally, but just like in a random spot as my hand goes up, and it just kind of freaks the goanna out a little bit, and you got to watch out for that as well. Once it gets on the chin, it's fine because it knows, like it's only had this is the first time I've done it with this monitor, and it enjoys it quite a bit, as all the monitors do that I've found. They just love a good chin massage, even if they're not too confident with you. But I'm watching very, very intently at the monitor as well, and I'm feeling the monitor as well. And you can kind of feel little bits of the monitor, like you can feel if it's tensing up anywhere, and you can, like, there you go again, you see it, like it's even got the mouth open, bit of a tail whip there. It's a bit upset, and that's simply because as my hand come up, it bumped a different part of its body. It wasn't used to being touched, and that's you've got to get that as well. You've got to start touching all bits of the monitor, but relax the monitor down first, and that can take weeks of getting it out, or however long. Again, this is a goanna that's that we haven't had since it hatched. We've only just got it, and it's had some probably not friendly handling experience, but loves the pat under the chin. We're holding it very, very loosely, just enough to basically support it, but in a way that we can grab it if we need to. And it's kind of like I like to kind of lift up, like, yeah, it's kind of support monitors and not dominate them. It's make them comfortable. They're the bosses kind of thing. Like they do what they want to do, but get them used to us and enjoy our interactions. And the throat massage is a massive tool for that as well. If you can do it, like when we'll be posting up a lace monitor video with one of our young female lace monitors in a couple of days, I think. Recorded that today as well, and you go in for the chin massage on that one, and it's yeah, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking because they got quite sharp teeth, and you don't, like, I've got a general idea, like I'm pretty confident. I was much more confident with the lace monitor, to be honest, than this guy. This guy's the 7-year-old Panoptes with a rather large head that has tried to bite me rather recently, but it worked out rather well, and she enjoyed it, and it's just something we're going to have to repeat over and over again, and once she gets really used to the chin pat and being held, then we can start gradually patting her in other various bits, and she'll get a little bit upset at the start with those things, but it's just kind of desensitizing her to all those things, where you're touching her all over kind of thing. I still don't like going like touching them on the top of the head, just like until way later down the track, because it's kind of where a predator will come down and can freak them out unnecessarily. And the other thing as well, like, you can hold it above your head when you're doing holds with them, and it relaxes them down a fair bit as well. But the chin pat is like chin massage is kind of an amazing thing to do if you can do it with your monitors without kind of losing a finger. But again, as I always say, if you do get bit, you just hold still, you let the monitor release, and then you don't end up with sliced tendons. You just end up with a few bite marks. But the good thing about going on from underneath, if you're careful, you watch it, you like this guy's even closing. She's even closing her eyes. She's so into the massage there, and but yeah, you watch the monitor intently while you're doing it, because like they do give off signs that they're getting upset. And she's got the tongue flick going there, which is a great thing as well, because you want to both give her the massage so that she really starts to enjoy it, and if she licks you while she's doing that, in a long slow lick, then she's picking up your scent and then kind of associating your scent with that good feeling of a neck massage out in the sun, just basically supported out in the sun. So it's a positive experience overall. But yeah, watch you go under, and you can feel, even in my hand there, I can feel it when it tenses up at any point, and just watch the head for any like little kind of twitches that might have been freaked out by something. And yeah, going underneath with the massage, you can kind of pull away downwards pretty quickly, and hopefully don't get munched while you do it. I've never actually been bitten while giving a massage to a goanna under the chin, but there's always the potential, because you're putting your hand right up there in the face, and this is really the second time that we've got this girl out for a good session to kind of socialize up, and it's going to take a lot more times to get it to a point where it's quite comfortable with the situation. But this was a really, really positive experience, and we just got to basically repeat this over and over, and she'll be socialized up really, really well, or tamed up really well, however you want to put it. They kind of both mean the same thing, I guess. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we got our juvenile lace monitor video coming next, and then probably in another week we'll do a measurement of the parenti and get that measurement out, because he's just digesting a rather large guinea pig at the moment, so we'll wait until he's past that. But yeah, hit a like, hit a subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.